Okay, everybody, today on the Charlie Kirk Show, UFO of God, a man who claims that he went to a UFO that was sent from above.
So if you watched yesterday's video, you would know that today is quite the special upload. And you've clicked this video for a reason, okay? Because everything happens for a reason. Charlie Kirk was recently assassinated, but before he was in contact with Chris Bledsoe, author of UFO of God. And, you know, this is like two cartoons intertwining into the same reality, and I'm all here for it, and I know you guys are too. So you're going to enjoy this one. Do not go anywhere because this gets insane.
Sticking out your tongue for the picture. You're so pretty, you're so popular.
So just before we get into the goodness, right, just make sure to show some support. Patreon down below, PayPal. It is affordable for all income levels, and you would be supporting free speech, independent journalism, free thinking, and you would be pushing back against the censorship that YouTube is bestowing upon channels like this. So thank you so much.
Buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
Charlie, what you've done is incredible here.
Maybe Charlie Kirk is on the college campus.
I want you to know we are lucky to have Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk's running the White House, folks.
I want to thank Charlie. He's an incredible guy. His spirit, his love of this country. He's done an amazing job building one of the most powerful youth organizations ever created, Turning Point USA.
We will not embrace the ideas that have destroyed countries, destroyed lives, and we are going to fight for freedom on campuses across the country. That's why we are here.
Do you guys have any idea how many ads I needed to cut out of this video to get to this fucking part? It's ridiculous. This guy was making so much money, and now he's just dead. That sucks so much. He was grinding, guys.
And there's a lot of alien chatter right now. And joining us now is Chris Bledsoe, author of the book UFO of God, The Extraordinary True Story of Chris Bledsoe. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time. I cannot possibly introduce your story as well as you can. So tell us your extraordinary story.
Well, glad to be on here, Charlie. Thank you for having me. And it would take a while to tell the whole thing because it's ongoing. But basically, it started in 2007 with a fishing trip with my son and 3 other guys, and turned out to be 4 hours of missing time and a whole lot more. And but yeah, it's all in the book. This complete story. In 2007, January the 8th, I had just come through. I was a home builder, building 100 homes a year, and the 911 Desert Storm thing wrecked our economy and caught me off guard with too many houses on the market. And I was pretty much down on my luck, and at the bottom, I was really having a hard time. Lost my home, had 4 children at the time that were little, and having to struggle to even get them school lunches. And so I was out crying out to the heavens, help me. And suddenly these 3 large balls of fire. They look like the setting sun, that color, when you can look at it and it doesn't hurt your eyes. And I walked up on them. And next thing I know, I was hiding, scared to death at what I was seeing. And I had no clue when I walked back up to the campfire where they were fishing that 4 hours had passed. And for the longest time, I didn't know what had happened there. And I still have vague memories of what happened while I was away. But it followed me home, and ended up starting to interact with my whole family, my wife and my kids. And to this day, it's been witnessed by hundreds of people with me. But it was I don't know the best way to tell what happened in those 4 hours other than I was sick. I had Crohn's disease, and I was unable to work, and I was crying out. And when they brought me back, I had no more Crohn's disease. It went away. But that started a whole lot of trouble because I'm born and raised in the Bible Belt, and I came home talking about, not being sick anymore. And then the whole community basically started telling me I was playing with the devil. And it's just been it's one more struggle from the very beginning of this thing. But it was a blessing to me. The whole thing was a blessing, but it turned out to be really hard on my children, my wife, and my family.
So just so I understand, according to your recollection, you're there, you cry out to God. There's 4 hours of missing time. Do you believe that you were transported up to a UFO? Is that correct?
Well, I don't really know that. What I do know is what I saw were balls of fire. I really never saw a mechanical machine. It was just 3 large balls of fire. Actually, more than that. There were 3 that landed across the river in front of the whole group, and then 3 up at the road where I was missing time. But I think the balls of light.
Let's just take one quick second to talk about time dilation, time gone missing, and Chris Bledsoe. So all this relates back to one man. And Jesse Michael's dick is rock hard right now, and that is Timothy Taylor, or Tyler D, as mentioned from Diana Pasolka's American Cosmic book. You should check that out immediately.
Took me. I really don't know. I know they looked for me for hours and couldn't find me. And we were down in the middle of nowhere, so there was nowhere for me to go. And but yeah, they definitely took me somewhere.
And so why do you think that these are aliens or whatever filler term and not spirits? What do you speculate them to be? Because you say then your Crohn's was solved. Is that right? It was healed afterwards. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Healed just like that. Divine intervention, as you would call it. Guys, is Jesus Christ back on earth driving a motherfucking UAP, right? There's so many mentions of UAP in the Bible, like flying bushes, flying, they described it as was common things in their time, flying shields. It's really fascinating, and I wonder if there honestly really is a connection to Christianity or any other religion, as a matter of fact,
Well, to give context, I've struggled with this for 17 years now. What is it that took me? All I can go back to is I was praying. I was calling on God, or whoever's up there. I was desperate. I had just come through a near-death experience, and I was unable to work, 45 years old, with 4 children, and sick, really sick. And I was crying out to something, whoever's up there, to hear me. I was raised in a church. And so when it came, it took me and brought me back. It left me not knowing anything. I had no clue what happened other than my Crohn's was gone. And we saw these things. Everybody saw them. The whole group did. And we still do to this day. In fact, we study them with government officials, with military people, scientists, and so on.
So after years of receiving mixed responses from people, you had another encounter on Easter of 2012. Tell us about it.
So the event that is oh so famous and always spoken about, the lady event, where Chris Bledsoe, describes this feminine, energy. It's some correlation maybe to our favorite crackhead, what's his name? Jacob Barber, also had this feminine energy communication that made him so emotional. So Chris Bledsoe's version is the lady, and she has told him to Easter 2026 is Armageddon, something's happening. Something will be exactly above the Sphinx. I have no idea, no clue. But I'm open to hearing all of your thoughts and theories, because shit's going to be so fascinating, and we're going to be covering all of it here. We're building the most massive and biggest and best channel that's going to be taking over this space, guys. So help me fuck over all my competition and let's get this shit going.
Yeah, that was the turning point, the change in the direction of where we were heading. For the first 5 years, it was pretty much a curse, because when I would talk about it, well, the whole community just came down on me, and there were people trying to take my children away. They thought I was crazy. They were bringing holy water to the house and sprinkling me and my property and my children. And I'm crying. I'm saying, look, I was praying to God. I wasn't praying to the devil.
Okay, what the fuck? There was some religious people coming to the property to spray, you know, those little spray things you use for the cats if they're fucking out. They just sprang Chris and his family like, no more devil worshipping shit, okay, this is not God. All the Karens over there. I don't know, that's just such a funny image to me. I cannot imagine how that would have played and went down. It's private property. Do these religious folk have superior permissions from the state? How does this even work or look? That's encroaching upon rights, freedom of religion. Like, there's so many questions that pop out about this. So funny.
And I don't get it. You know, I don't understand. So it turned into be a laughing stock at school for my children. They were coming home and crying. And so I got upset and decided that I'd never talk about it again. And when I did, the next experience was this. All I can tell you, it was just the most beautiful lady I have ever seen. She came, and she came in the middle of the night, and she told me, she said, this is your burden. You have to tell.
I guess you could say this was a lady of the night.
This. And if you will, I'll help you. I'll bless you and let you film us and let you share our presence with the world. And so help me. From that point forward, I started being able to share with others. And I have done so with the highest authorities, from CIA to DIA to U.S. The Department of Defense to scientists from different colleges and universities. And it all happened after this beautiful lady came. And believe me, I was born and raised a Baptist, right? I had no idea who some spiritual female would be. But I don't see them as aliens, Charlie. I don't see it that way. I see them as spirits, basically. It was a spiritual experience for me then, and it still is to this day. But what I can't put my thumb on it yet to tell you what it is we're dealing with. It's just going to take a lot more study. But I know how it reacts to me. I know what I say to make it come.
What you say to make it come? What the fuck, guys? I'm sorry, I just can't help myself. This shit is funny.
So, Chris, I want to ask you, do you believe these are spirits? So why is the term UFO involved? Just help me connect the dots here. Unidentified flying object, spiritual interactions, because you obviously would not be the first person that I've ever met that has claimed to have interactions with angels or demons or an invisible dimension, but you're now connecting it with a UFO. Help me understand that.
Well, when there's a reason I did that. I've studied this thing for the last 17 years with some of the best scholars out there, and going through the whole thing of what happened to me and still happening and the way it reacts. It's not I have seen mechanical machines. I have seen those. And it appears that these orbs can morph into those. They can do either one. So what I wanted to do is bring this front and center is the UFO that we're seeing. is it related to the biblical story? And a lot of people think it is. And the way it reacts, I tend to believe it's very closely related in some way. So they were UFOs. They were unidentified. And they took me and they brought me back. And I was calling out to God for help. And so that's the confusing thing. It responded in that manner to me, but it was unidentified. So it's I think the title's fitting, and I think there's going to be there's a need for a whole lot more study here to see what it is that we're dealing with. I can tell you this: I get thousands of emails, probably 5,000 this month, and everybody wants to tell me their story. And the majority of the people that write me tell me, 99% tell me, that when they started seeing lights in the sky, it was because of a trauma, a loved one passing away, mother, dad, child, and a whole lot more. So somehow or another is tied, Charlie, and I think it's going to take a lot more work to find out. But we're working on that. We're working.
So Chris, what are you still a Christian after these experiences?
Yeah, I'll never change.
So,
in fact, I'm stronger than I ever was.
So then you believe that you are able to come in contact with angels? Is that your working hypothesis?
That's my thoughts. Yes. That's what I believe. But I'm not 100% sure. But I can tell you, in 17 years of dealing with this, it's not tried to harm me. It's been blessings, and I've seen a lot of people healed from this. Blessings come from it, and it's in the book. There's stories about people in Washington that had blessings from this. People with cancers that disappeared. Why? I don't know. I have no clue.
Do you believe that these were messengers? Because that is the word for angel in the Bible means messenger.
Yes, I really believe. I believe that.
What is the main? You said you can summon them at any time. Is that correct?
Well, I don't like to use that word summon because that sounds dark. But simply what I do, I walk out and usually it's connected somehow or another to where I don't have to do much but go outside. When I walk out, they see me and here they come. If they don't, I'll say a little prayer, just like I did on the river. And they respond to that in that manner.
So what has been their main message to you?
I think the world's in trouble, Charlie. I think we're at a crossroads and we've got to wake up. And that's the main message I'm getting here, that it's time that we all come together and quit fighting over what we perceive that we know when we really don't know what we think we know.
What the current state of the world is, political, and all considered economical. I can get behind this message. Seems like a positive message. We need change as well. With the job losses, we're gonna need to implement some governmental assistance to citizens and a universal basic income. When there's people as rich, not to call this guy out, but Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they have enough money to make every single person in the world not live on the street. So we're going to need some taxation for Mother Earth to the average citizen. We're all the same species, right?
It's, I think we're at the crossroads of a new world and a new knowledge. And I think they're going to help bring that about.
Chris Bledsoe, check out his website, UFO of God. That's ufoofgod.com. Chris, we'll have you on again. Thank you so much.
And as you can guess, there will be no episode 2. He will not be on again. And that's because there was some wild ass shit that happened on Utah campus. Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck. Video was everywhere. on Twitter. People were like fucking drooling over posting that clip underneath anything Charlie Kirk related for some engagement boosting. Like it's really odd. But in conclusion today, guys, thanks for watching thus far. Appreciate you so much. Love the comments been getting. Appreciate it. If you watch till here, that helps a ton with the CTR click-through rate. And share this video. Anything helps out a ton. Financially, giving a tip, like even $1, life-changing stuff makes my week. And yeah, been grinding and will continue to do so. Thanks for the support. And fuck off. Enjoy your day further. See ya.
Fucking degenerate.